So this is my severely neglected pedal board. Kind of made it like with the turf grass, surf and turf green, plywood. And you see a lot of these are attached to the actual board here. Not all of them, that one's loose. We did a video a few weeks ago about my first distortion pedal, the Brat. And this is actually, believe it or not, one of my two first pedals, you know, period. So what do you see on here? What do you think is my second one? So in that video, I talked about how we went to University Music and Paul, the owner's son, you know, he knew how to sweet talk parents, you know, that, and sell something. You know, my dad refused to buy an expensive distortion pedal. Like, you know, they were going for like 80 bucks or so back then in the early 90s. But he talked Dad into getting this, which was like a $29 distortion. I tested it out, you know, a few weeks ago on the tube amplifier, the Fender DeVille, and it sounded really good on that amplifier. Doesn't always sound good, in my opinion, on every amplifier. I've had this for many years. So despite, you know, Dad, my father, not wanting to buy an expensive pedal, he heard this at the music store. This is the Crybaby, the wah. And it was $80, I believe, at the time. And after hearing it, he said, you know, that's one of the coolest things I ever heard. So he actually bought that wah for me. That's my original wah pedal. That's just a compressor, DBX compression system. Don't really use it much, if any. But I had it there, you know, just to kind of complete my pedal board. So, out of all of these, I do have favorites. And what do you think my favorite distortion is? Is it the Grunge Solo, Proco Solo? Is it the Ibanez Sound Tank Thrash Metal? Or the Brat? Or is it the Akai Shred-O-Matic D1 Hybrid Tube Drive? Also have two phasers here, Phase 100 and the Dan Electro Pepperoni phaser. Which one do you think is my favorite out of the two? And I have two compression pedals, or whatever you want to call them. The other one really isn't a pedal, but this guy, you know, I got it to try to kind of add some sustain to my guitars. I'm not going to try to like demo this wah pedal. There are wah pedals all over the place. I got a wah also in my Digitech BNX 3. And that is not a wah pedal on the Akai Shred-O-Matic. All these things are dirty just from sitting for 10 years without being messed with. So I'm definitely planning on doing some videos, taking these guys out, cleaning them up, putting tuner cleaner, you know, in all the connections, and maybe demoing everything too. One of my favorite pedals is the Octave Multiplexer. Like I said, I really need to clean everything up here because it just sits and it gets like mildew and dust on it, and this isn't my place. I have it in storage in another area, so that's why they kind of got neglected. Then we have the Rocktech Vibrator, which is a tremolo system. I definitely would prefer to have a better one. I mean, there's nothing wrong at all with this guy here. It's got a def and a rate decent enough, but I would just like one with a true bypass and all on it. So there you have it, my first two guitar pedals, the Brat and the Crybaby. What were your first distortion and other effects pedals? Maybe you like the funky Ibanez AF2 airplane flanger. Surprisingly, I've never owned a standalone course pedal. I have course in different multi-effect systems. I've had course in a variety of amplifiers, but never a course pedal. And are all of these pedals basically outdated by multi-effect systems that model cabs, model amplifiers, and have all of the effects built in it, plus support a 4-cable method with their own expression pedal, or 1 to 2 external expression pedals you can add to them. You know, some people say that does everything, so why would you need anything else, including compression, overdrive, fuzz, distortion, coarse, flange, you know, vibrato, and all the other effects. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. I hope that I can find some time to clean these guys up and get them working, you know, 100%. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of these have super scratchy knobs, controls, and who knows, that wall is so old, you know, the gears or anything could be brittle in it. But take care, guys. That's it.